Hello, it's time for your weekly focus for the week tarot reading, and this is for the week of Sunday, August 4th, 2017. So I've already shuffled up the deck. I've divided it into 3 stacks. Let's take a look and see what the cards suggest that you focus on during this coming week. Okay, so the first card that you got is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So you might currently, in some area of your life, have decided to take a pause or stand your ground or kind of just stay in one spot rather than rushing forward or going out and conquering it, or going out and grabbing it. If you're a Dexter fan, you'll remember Jordan Chase, right? Take it. My husband and I always use that phrase with each other. Take it, Jordan Chase. This card in reverse is basically telling you to take it. When we see it upright, when we see the Knight of Pentacles, we see someone taking stock, being very practical, and taking a pause and looking around and seeing what's going on before charging ahead and moving forward. Since you got this card in reverse, to me that means you have maybe considered or you have actually decided to take a pause on something that otherwise you'd be rushing forward on. Go ahead and rush forward. Just go right in. You don't need to stand still any longer on whatever this is. Just go ahead and take the first step even. You don't have to rush. You don't have to hit the finish line, but don't stand still anymore. At least take the first step, but go ahead and trot forward since this card is in reverse. The next card that you got is the Wheel of Fortune. Such an appropriate card after this one. One of the reasons why maybe you have not moved forward, or maybe a reason why you had taken a pause or decided to stand still for a little while, is because of the concern of, it might not work out. There might be something unexpected happening, or you're not really sure how it's going to turn out, or there might be something that you don't really like about it that then you'll have to deal with, which you don't have to deal with if you don't move forward, right? So the Wheel of Fortune is acknowledging that and is saying, yes, yes, sometimes you'll be on top of everything, and sometimes you'll be thrown under the bus and you'll feel like everything's rolling right over the top of you. But that will continue to happen. As you know, life is all about cycles. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. It's your option to look at whatever the situation is and say, oh, okay, I knew this was going to happen. I knew everything wasn't going to be perfect. I knew there were going to be some roadblocks or some obstacles. Here it is. Now let me work with it and move on. And I love that this card is called the Wheel of Fortune because it is about fortune. It doesn't have to be about financial fortune, although maybe I think it might have something to do with it because you got the pentacles here. But it can be that you will be fortunate in the long run, right? This wheel, it is making progress. It is moving forward. It is a vehicle, right? A wheel is part of a vehicle to move you forward. So I do think that it's about progress, but I don't think the progress you'll always be on top. I mean, that's just normal, right? So as long as you know about that in advance, don't let it stop you. Don't let it be the end of whatever you're thinking of doing. Let yourself move forward with the forewarning. Sometimes I'll be up and sometimes I'll be down, and both of those are just fine. Okay, the third card that you got this week is the Hierophant. Okay, so this card, although it doesn't look like it, to me, I always think of freedom and adventure when I see this card. The fifth card in the Major Arcana. It's about being at the beginning of a journey where you learn your life's lessons, you face your trials and tribulations. It's about recognizing an authority figure for what he or she is. So oftentimes, especially in our youth, maybe in our younger youth, not so much our middle youth, we followed authority figures out of respect, out of tradition, out of not knowing the other options. We just thought, well, I guess I'll follow. I mean, this person is an authority, they're respected, they're saying things with confidence, I guess I'll follow. But that's maybe not always appropriate, and especially in this current case with this situation that you've got going on right now. So What I want to point out to you about the Hierophant is that there are authority figures out there who can give you advice, give you direction, tell you how things should be done or must be done, and tell you what the consequences are if you don't do those things those ways, and those consequences may be true or they may not be true for you. So this card reminds you that while authority does have its place and there's great benefits from following dogma or following teachings that have been handed from one expert to another, there are benefits. There's also people who have decided, I'm not a follower. I'm not just someone kneeling down in front of the authority figure doing whatever they say. So you can choose if you want to follow or if you want to grasp that freedom and adventure and do something completely off the beaten path. You don't have to follow an authority figure if it's not right for you at this time. That's totally your choice. Either one of those choices is fine as long as you are intentional about it and not just following blindly or not just rebelling blindly, right? You don't want to just rebel for rebellion's sake, and you don't want to just follow for following's sake. So whichever way you choose, if you choose to follow the expert or the authority figure, or if you choose to go your own way, as long as you're doing it with knowledge about why you've made that choice, you're going to be in the best place for you. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. You got the Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10. You got the 5, the Hierophant, so that's 15. And a Knight is a 1, so that's 1 and 6. So that's 16. So 1 and 6 is 7. 7 is about looking inward. It's about introspection, meditation, reflection. So I do think that's kind of why you got this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It was right for you to feel, let me stop, let me pause, let me take stock of the situation. That's not a negative thing at all, but this card was in reverse for you, so the time to meditate, you've taken that time. That time was made available to you. Now it's time to go ahead and face your fears, look for the ups and the downs, and make a really reflective decision about if you choose to follow the conservative, conventional wisdom, or if you choose to go off in a little bit different direction that maybe not everyone would consider the right path. That's okay. So yeah, what an exciting, I really hope this works out for you this week. I'd be curious to hear whatever it is that you've kind of been stalled on and now what you're going to go ahead and take action towards. So yeah, if you'd like to share your feedback, you can either respond to the email where you got this reading if you're on my email list, or you can leave a little feedback in the comments below. I'd love to read your feedback. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.